On my last video, I was talking about how I've had a dream about Teddy Roosevelt. Let me just share this dream real quick. 4/12/2017, Minister Paul, Watchman on the Wall, NorCal. You'd have to watch the previous video. It's called God Reveals in Advance that World War III is a false flag cover-up of evil. Go to about the 14-minute mark. Playing this back, and I was talking about the Arch of Palmyra, the Baal Arch, and decided to go see where it was because I was mentioning it was in Italy, and I wanted to confirm that. But let me share this dream real fast. I want to make this a short video. I had a dream in 2016 before Trump won the election. And if you recall, God told me Hillary would not win the election. It would not be president, and it came to pass. I took a lot of heat for that. I'm on here to share as led through my love and obedience to Jesus Christ. I had a dream in 2016 before Trump won. I was in a foxhole in New York, and there was civil unrest all over the country. Just remember that, civil unrest all over the nation. And it was divided among races and beliefs and stuff. And I was hiding in this foxhole because it looked like it was erupting from a protest into a riot in New York. And a man in an old suit in black and white jumps into my foxhole with me. And I turned to him and I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm Teddy Roosevelt." And ever since then, I've been seeing his name everywhere. Everywhere. Just go back to my last video. Again, it shows up. Several videos of Teddy Roosevelt and the Chrysler Building and certain things that I really just can't explain. So the rioters had noticed that he was the target, that he was in the foxhole with me, and they began to throw rocks and stones and dirt clogs at us. And I told them something along the lines of, "Man, you've brought war upon us," because I was safe until he jumped in there, and he put me in danger to protect himself. That was the dream. And then New York basically erupted in flames. So I want to show you how that pattern of Teddy Roosevelt continues to show up in my life since the day of that dream in 2016. I'm looking up, we're talking about April 29th here. And in the Arch of Palmyra, I just call it the Arch of Baal. Has to do with the child sacrifice. And I wanted to see where it was, and they're quoting this mayor of New York about what a wonderful thing it was, blah, blah, blah. And then I had mentioned that I was going to go to Dubai. It went there, and it's talking about the G7 summit. And then I continued on to this paragraph here. It says, over the past 2 years, the Arch has traveled 10,000 miles right in the center of your screen there across 3 continents. On April 29th, so that is 17 days from today. On April 29th, it will be unveiled at Arona's Museum of Archaeology, which is in Italy, I believe. I'll show you. To be renamed. They're going to rename the Arch of Palmyra. There's something, I'm telling you, there's something really evil about this that people should pay attention to. And they're going to rename it Khalid al-Assad. Assad. And the first thing I thought of was Syria. It says the Syrian archaeologist murdered by ISIS in Palmyra. So they're renaming this arch that is traveling all over, and everywhere it goes, just, judgment breaks out. I'm telling you. And I'm going to show you some things here. So that's where it's going, being renamed and continued moving. So I wanted to look at this museum, and there isn't a lot about it here, but so here it is. It's Arona, I believe I'm saying that right. And Haven't really looked around at this website very much, but I'm pretty sure it's in Italy. And if anybody wants to correct me on that, feel free. And it's going up on the, it may not be Italy, I believe it is. And it's going up on the 29th of April. And I just felt something was really significant about that date, April 29th, just based off things that have been shown in the past. And I don't know if anything will happen exactly on that date. This video is not about that. It's just about showing more puzzle pieces and signs of what's ahead. So I looked at in 1964, that was the year I was born, we performed a nuclear test. As we're being threatened, I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's 1010. That we're being threatened by Korea with a nuclear test and an earthquake. A fatal earthquake hit Seattle, Washington, and 5 perished. Earthquakes and then look at this, in 1969, Trumpets of the Lord opens at Brooks Atkinson, New York City for 7 performances. The number 7, the number of perfection and completion, says Trumpets of the Lord. Oh my gosh, are people awake? I haven't looked at the rest, but I want to go back. And I want to show you things that stick out on the date that they're, because I believe they use dates. Amen. Look, right here, the 3rd president of Italy was elected. Just things like that. So that's a 3 and a 7. But I want to go back to, and let's talk about the war with Germany and the Jewish people are mentioned in here. But I want to go back to, here's London. And I'll just put these in here so you can see them. There's a lot of things, but watch this. Why, it's Teddy Roosevelt. Can you believe this? Theodore Roosevelt, with the picture here exactly as I seen him in my dream from last year, jumping into a foxhole while civil unrest broke out everywhere. He visits Amsterdam, ex-U.S. president. That's interesting that it's ex. Any thoughts on this? And then I also noticed Taylor, Texas got 2 inches of rain in 10 minutes. And then there was this other thing about civil unrest. What I'm going to do is, to keep this video short, I'm going to put a link to this, but there's a major thing about civil unrest. 100,000 federal troops. I thought this was interesting also, that at the Presidio in San Francisco, California here, my dad was stationed there to learn another language in the U.S. Army. It permanently formed on that date. Peace between Britain and Russia, the Crimean War. And there was something about civil unrest. Teddy Roosevelt, I'll find it. And civil unrest, then I'll end the video. I may have already passed it, I've done that before. Pope. That's pretty much all I had to say regarding this. Like I said, I'm going to be making some videos. I ask you to like it, share them. I'll put a link to this if you could find. Let me try this edit font thing. Civil unrest. And because it relates to so much. The dream of oh well, that's about usually how it happens. Istanbul, Turkey, Afghanistan, Boeing 747 crashes, 7 killed, 7 foreigners. I'm just gonna, what's that, the world, hold on. 9/11 attack on New York's World Trade Towers. Why does that say? Oh, it's when they testify. Oh my gosh. Let me just say that a lot of people think that we're going to be caught up in the sky this month in April. And I'm not going to go against that, but I'm just going to tell you on record that that's not how I'm being led, that I'm out of here in April based off signs in the sky or stars or cereal boxes or milk cartons or license plates or whatever it may be. I'm not feeling that. I feel like I am being purified and strengthened to be able to stand against so much more evil that is coming upon California and this nation and this world, that I'm to sound the alarm even more. But I'm not going to say anything against people saying there's an April rapture. I just want to say that I am receiving the exact opposite, that there isn't an April rapture, that we're going into May, and so much is going to happen, and we're going to see things, and we're going to be tested, and we're going to be tried, and I know that'll upset some people, but they can come back on May 1st, and then maybe I'll be willing to pray with you. I just feel it's so important to be praying. Everything is not as it seems, and there's truth and there's lies on YouTube. I'm not calling anybody a liar. It's just not my place to do that. I'm not calling anybody out. I am telling you how I feel. We all have a right to come on here and share what we're being led to say. And the only thing out in closing, I just showed you a whole bunch of stuff that no one can deny. It's amazing. It could only come from God. The only thing I ask you is, if you're wondering whether we're going to rapture away in April, I just ask you to do one thing. Do a test of the spirits, and then look at the fruit of the people who have claimed these rapture dates. They're claiming now another rapture date. I thought it was supposed to happen today. Another one's the 16th and the 19th. I can't keep track of them all. But it happens every year, and they set these dates and they fail. So if you're following someone and listening and encouraging someone that's saying that the rapture is April, and you're planning your life to not be here in May, let me tell you, don't lose faith, don't lose strength, because you're going to have to go through more. Some of us may even see death before the rapture. It's going to be God's will. But just look at what they've said in the past and whether that came true or not. And then just ask them, are you repeating the same thing you've done in 2016 and 2015 and 2014? You set dates and got everybody's hopes up for something that never happened, and then people were let down. And then look at the information being presented on this channel, and how it comes true and comes correct at exactly the right time, and then pray and make your judgment based off the truth. I am being led to tell people to prepare. And it's not for Jesus in the sky. We're all looking for that. We all would love that. I mean, if it happened right now, we pray we'd be ready and worthy. But to start being, I'm being led to share that you need to start being prepared with things around your home to sustain you and other people as you go through the fire, and to help others, to witness to others, and sound the alarm that there's more to come. And we'll see May 1st.